What if Anakin never needed his suit? Obi-Wan has just defeated his former apprentice by dismembering his limbs. Anakin's body slid down the hill. He lays there, feet away from a pool of lava, screaming in pain. He looks up to Obi-Wan. It was almost natural instinct for these words to leave his mouth. He said, "Help me, Master." Those words echoed in Obi-Wan's head. Heartbroken, tears began to fall down his face. Just as it was instincts for Anakin to ask his master for help, those same instincts made Obi-Wan feel obligated to not just help his apprentice, but his brother, which made his decision all so much harder. He responded with, "I wish I could, Anakin," as he turned around to walk away. The lava had finally caught up with Anakin, catching his pant leg on fire, which quickly began to climb up his body. His screams became louder, more painful, screaming for help. Obi-Wan couldn't take it. He turned around, unleashing a force wave that cooled the fire on Anakin's body. The amount of pain being dealt to Anakin caused him to pass out before he could see Obi-Wan's effort to help him. Obi-Wan, seeing the Emperor's ship inbound, quickly headed back to his ship to make his escape, leaving Anakin. Anakin's body would be quickly taken to a medical bay, where he is surgically repaired with prosthetics for his arms and legs, but that was all that was needed. The rest of his wounds were healed within a bacta tank. It would only be a matter of time before he was back on his feet. Meanwhile, Padme would survive giving birth to her twins. Padme would be convinced that there was still good in Anakin and would want to help him. But after talking with Obi-Wan, he made it clear searching for Anakin right now would only put her and her kids at risk. So they agreed for the time being to go into hiding. They would travel to the planet of Ossus. Obi-Wan would follow the will of the Force to guide him. Once there, they would build their shelter and live off the land. Anakin was told that Padme had died, and this would only fuel his hatred and anger, making Palpatine smile, as his perfect apprentice was standing in front of him, stronger than ever. Palpatine could see his goals being manifested, but this feeling would only last seconds, as Anakin's anger was quickly pointed towards Palpatine. Frustrated with his inability to save his wife, he would kill his master, who had severely underestimated his powers. Anakin would forcefully take over the Empire, his only goal in life being vengeance. Vengeance on the Jedi who held him back from saving his mother and his wife. And the one Jedi that sat at the top of his list was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Anakin would do everything in his power to bring his wife back from the dead. He spent endless hours researching all the restricted information from the Jedi Temple, which was now his throne. As strong as he got, he could never bring her back. Years have passed and Luke and Leia are now 10 years old. They have been trained from the beginning by Obi-Wan while having the support of their mother. Being isolated for so many years have cut them off from the galaxy. They were unaware of the Empire's growth or power until a familiar face showed up, Ahsoka Tano. She had spent her time following whispers and leads to track down Obi-Wan and Padme, and she finally did it. Obi-Wan was shocked to see his old friend, but at the same time, he scolded her from coming to his location, explaining he is protecting and training the next generation of Jedi. Ahsoka would want to see Padme. Obi-Wan would oppose this and would ask her to leave, but Ahsoka would not take no for an answer. So later that night, Padme, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka would meet, where Ahsoka explains to them that Anakin is the ruler of the Empire and has been hunting down and killing every Jedi. Padme, having a hard time hearing this, would want to go to Anakin to save him. Ahsoka seconded this notion, but Obi-Wan was not having it and shut it down immediately. But unbeknownst to them, Ahsoka has been tracked and watched for a long time by the Empire. After receiving confirmation of Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, Anakin would waste no time and head to the planet of Ossus. Arriving on the planet, Obi-Wan as well as Ahsoka could sense the immense amount of darkness approaching them. Obi-Wan would tell Padme to hide the children and do not come out until he tells them to. Anakin, marching out of his shuttle, was moving quickly with anger. Each step he took towards Obi-Wan and Ahsoka built tension like no other. He would continue marching until he was just 10 feet away. The silence was deadly. Anakin's eyes were engulfed in Sith yellow. He would tell Obi-Wan his powers have more than doubled his former master, and that he should have killed him on Mustafar when he had the chance. Obi-Wan would say he's sorry, but Anakin wasn't looking for apologies. His red lightsaber would ignite, charging Obi-Wan and Ahsoka at speeds that were inconceivable. His movements were swift and decisive, disarming Obi-Wan, cutting his arm off. Ahsoka would try her best, but would be quickly defeated as well. Both Jedi alive, but on the ground, looked up to their former friend as he prepared to deliver his final blow. Before he could sense two Force users sneaking up on him. It was Luke and Leia, running to protect the only father figure they've ever known. Padme's voice would scream no as Anakin engaged in a fight with his own kids.